Adam Wilborn from What Culture. Very pleased to say I'm joined now by Ring of Honor's very own Mr. Joe Hendry. Joe, how is it going, mate?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Yeah, very good. Thanks. Lovely to speak to you. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us today.
Thanks for having me.
How is lockdown treating you so far?
It's been an interesting time. I mean, in some ways, it's been great. I've had a lot of time to produce content. Like I've been putting out more music videos than ever. So actually, I'm more over now than I was before. So I kind of saw it as a challenge to put content out. But then on the other hand, I think we all get this guilt that because we're at home, we're not doing enough, so we do too much and then we go and go and go and go. And then I've been just putting out videos, video. And it gets to the point where it's like, I need a wee break. So I'd been, I had very few days off from creating content. And by the way, this is all self-imposed. This is me that's putting myself under this pressure, no one else. But I got Red Dead Redemption 2 and now it's balancing out beautifully.
Yeah, I saw you were tweeting about that the other day. You had spent 20 minutes picking a hat or whatever. I've only just myself got into Red Dead Redemption 2, so I'm in the same boat as you. I think we're both, both going, this game's really good, but just like a year behind everyone else.
It's serious stuff, man. Like picking a hat, it's serious stuff. But then you can pick. Oh, that's my phone going off there. I'm just gonna stop that from happening again. Apologies.
That's all right.
I thought I put it on silent. The cardinal sin. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving Red Dead. It's like it gives me it's weird. I usually when I'm playing games or watching movies, I have this terrible thing where I'm like, oh, I should be being productive or whatever. But this seems to really chill me out,
Yeah, I get what you're coming from. I know people who, have normally got like office jobs who are, just sat at their desk in their lounge or whatever, and they have to get up and like put a suit on just so they feel like they're in work mode, and then they can distinguish between that and, sitting on the couch, like you say, binging Netflix or whatever.
Well, I actually heard the other day that there are some people who are actually using Red Dead Online to have their meetings like around like the virtual campfire. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool idea.
That is genius. Yeah, that's far more exciting than Zoom meetings or whatever. Yeah, so like I said, you've been keeping very busy during lockdown. I've seen you doing beer drinking with the bouncers, donut eating with Slex. Which one did you enjoy the most? I sense I know the answer to the second part. And which one did you enjoy the least?
Okay. Well, what do you think I enjoyed the most?
Well, no, I think I know you enjoyed the least was the donut eating because I watched that
Yeah, I thought you were
earlier.
going to say that was the one I enjoyed the
No.
most. And I was like, oh, Lord, no. Like, I mean, it's funny. I've done that is I think the fourth eating competition I've ever done. Before I started wrestling, I won Edinburgh's burger eating championship. Right, no one else had done it. Sorry, burger eating challenge. So no one else had done it. It was in this place called City Cafe, and it was like something crazy, like 6 pounds of meat. It was like this size. It was insane. And I did that. And then when I joined ICW, I got into pro wrestling, and then they had a Jim Cornette burger eating contest, and I was like, put me in. I've won eating contests. And, I was just through the door. I was like barely a trainee. So they were like, well, hang on, kid, right? And then the thing is, the burgers were so expensive that the ICW were like, well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to pester us this much, you can be in the burger eating contest. But if you don't finish that burger, you're covering the bill. And I was like, Dallas, there will be no need to cover any bills. I guarantee it. And then so I won that one. Then the next year, I did their other burger competition. And when I got there, they were like, oh, we've changed the rules. It's going to be a tag team burger eating contest now, and we're pairing you up with fans, right? And I was like, whoa. Can you imagine if you're a pro wrestler or any kind of, doubles in tennis, and then you show up and they just throw that on you, right? But we still won. And it was amazing because the other fans were bigger gentlemen, and the one that I was paired up with was a smaller gentleman. And I feel that there was a little bit of, it was a Montreal screw job waiting to happen. But it just so happened, looks can be deceiving. My guy was a hungry hippo, and we got through that burger. And then I think I had one more. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we did the donut one the other day, and every moment when you're doing one of these, I swear to God, when I was doing the Jim Cornette one, I thought when I was getting to the end of the burger, I thought, could this kill me? And I was really seriously thinking, could this kill me? And then I had a similar moment when I was eating the donuts. So I was like, can I really ingest 200 grams of sugar in one go? Is that possible? Like, am I going to get hurt here?
It's
So
the thing where I saw you tweeting about it and saying you were going to be doing it and sort of previewing it, and then I suddenly realized, oh, you're not doing the 6, you're doing 12.
yeah,
And then you yourself literally towards the end go, 6 would have been fine. 6 would have been absolutely fine.
I regretted after one donut. After one.
Yeah, I think everyone goes, oh, as opposed to, let's say, the sort of man versus food contest or the really spicy food contest. Eating a few donuts sounds great, but it just overwhelms you by the looks of things.
Yeah, we actually so now that you mention that, myself and you'll need to remind me their WWE name. War Machine, is it War Raiders or
Viking Raiders now?
Viking Raiders, something, battles, wars. You get the drill.
Yeah.
We were with there was a bunch of us with them in a curry house in, I think it was like in Birmingham, and we did an eating contest there, and there was about 6 or 7 of us there. It would be inappropriate for me to reveal who it was of the group. It wasn't War Raiders, but somebody spewed halfway through it and still plucked up the courage to finish this curry. It was like insanely hot and huge. So that was another eating contest we did. But I was right up there with Viking Raiders,
You do realize people are now going to be going through your cage match and trying to pair you up what card you're on with who and who else could have possibly been there, and now start speculating on that.
We've got time. It's lockdown. We've all got time.
Speaking of lockdown, we should talk about, I know you've mentioned this in other interviews recently, how great Ring of Honor have been. Obviously, there's been a lot of sort of focus on a variety of wrestling companies and how they're dealing with it. But from what I've heard from you, Ring of Honor couldn't have done much more.
Yeah, they've been awesome. Like, I've been talking about this a lot recently, but I just kind of felt that not enough was being said about it, because I think, like, when it comes to pro wrestling companies, a lot of the time the fans don't know the whole story, and it's like, I think a lot of, like, sometimes when you see negative press, it's kind of like sometimes it's unwarranted, and I just felt like, for everything that Ring of Honor's been through, I feel people need to know how great they've been with the roster, and I know, like, I don't think people. This is the thing that kind of irritates me about the wrestling scene. Sometimes is it's like people think that they know everything. It's like you might have heard one thing or whatever, and it's like that becomes the story. When the truth of the matter is, we're the roster. We know the story because we live it. And it upsets me when people have negative things to say about the way that Ring of Honor does things, because I can tell you, and I never BS my fans. I never do it, and I'm telling you the truth. I feel so valued. I feel so I feel like it's got this real family atmosphere. Like, always throughout wrestling, you've always had that thing, like, it's a very competitive environment. I've always been looking over my shoulder, but Ring of Honor has a real family environment. And it took me a few months to be like, hey, wait, this guy's not actually trying to screw me over. It's like I was so used to that throughout my wrestling career that being somewhere now, I feel like I'm really part of something, and it's like, to give you an example, we've got we had like a meeting in Baltimore where every single member of the roster was invited to come down, and we were flown in for this meeting. We were flown in so the talent could give their opinions directly to the people in charge. There was a kind of podium at the front of the room, and every single member of the roster, every person, was given the chance to go to the front of the room, stand at this podium, say anything they wanted to say, and it was like, this is it. It's nothing's off limits. Go for it, say what you want. And we had a whiteboard, and we wrote down everything everyone said, and we as a group came up with these suggestions, and so many of them are being implemented already. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it strikes me, like you say there, that Ring of Honor doesn't just listen to the wrestlers, but listens to the fans as well. And that's arguably part of the resurgence we're witnessing right now. It must be rather frustrating for you, as I know it's frustrating being a fan of yours, seeing, obviously, you joined them last summer. Was it about August last year, I think it was, officially?
I debuted for them on August 30th.
Yeah. And obviously, you were doing a variety of stuff. You got stuff with, obviously, Dalton Castle, and then all this comes along. Is it frustrating that it's kind of stopped everything that's been going on, or do you like the fact that, like you say, it's brought everyone on the roster together a little bit more?
Apologies there. I feel a bit rude. I was just my dad was just calling me nonstop, so I was just kind of texting him back to say I'll be in touch with him. So I don't mean to be rude. I apologize for that. But regarding your question, I guess timing wise, like, look, there's never a good time for something like this to happen. I think what we've realized, and I think what Ring of Honor has really been open and aware of, is that it's like, look, safety first, right? Look, we all want to be over, we all want to be world champion, we all want to do this, we all want to do that. But look, people's safety comes first. The fans' safety, employees' safety, anyone that's involved with anything that we do, from the wrestlers, the crew, the office staff, like, safety is a total priority. So I think what we've done as a company is really put that to the forefront. And, like, for example, we've got no one is like going to be made to do anything they don't want to do. It's all the kind of work that we're doing at the moment is kind of voluntary. So it's like we're able to give anonymous feedback and say, we do feel comfortable or we don't feel comfortable. And they just ask us every week, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? And we can anonymously give feedback. So that's awesome. With regards to, like, where we were with talent and in their storylines and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the ideal time. I mean, it was the day before me and Dalton were supposed to face the Briscoes. And me and Dalton were really starting to pick up some steam as a tag team. And if you look at the reactions we were getting at, like, Final Battle and the couple of shows after that, it was just like, it was we were getting there, and it was like I just remember there was a moment where we're doing this kind of sequence, and towards the end of the match, like, the people were coming up, and I was like, oh man, we're really onto something here. Because originally I think me and Dalton were just going to do our our team thing and then split, but then it just felt like, this is great and we bounce off each other well, so let's just steer into this. So we were dead set on going after the tag team titles, and a victory over the Briscoes, that's kind of the perfect way to establish yourself in that conversation. And I really feel that the momentum was going in that way. And it just was like, whoosh. We got on the flight. Me, Mark, and Vicky Haskins got on the flight at Heathrow, and the shows were kind of going ahead. And when we landed, Mark shouts over to me, shows are canceled. And I was like, what? So
it's so annoying, but like you say, it's safety first, and I think it's a necessary thing. And hopefully, certainly, I think a lot of people in the industry and people that I know are hopeful that when it comes back, it's almost going to be like a resurgence, just a breath of fresh air for everyone. And like you say, you are going to have to try and kind of pick up for some companies where they left off, or kind of start afresh. But yeah, I sense that the fan desire for it is not going to go away. It's only been increased, and that's why you've seen people like Ring of Honor putting old matches on, and then, like you say, doing a variety of different things on social media. Speaking of you and Dalton, I was asking him some questions to ask you earlier. WrestleNalia on Twitter asks, why do you and Dalton mesh so well when you appear to be so different?
That's a great question, and something I've been speaking about a lot recently. But I want to respond to something that you said just a second ago, and then I'll get on to that. You were talking about the demand of wrestling. When you take something away, people value it more. It's like even basic things like seeing our friends and family. But of course, there's that, but also like seeing live wrestling. Like, when you take something away, people are going to want it more than ever. And I'm asking you, people. Now, I have been pestering a certain someone to get Defiant Wrestling, WCPW, whatever we're going to call it. Like, we got to get that on the go after this. People miss it. We got to get it back after this is all done. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there, But if you people make enough noise about it, I think they'll bring it back. I'm going to continually put daily pressure on, but I want to see that come back as well. Like, a lot of love for my time with What Culture and WCPW Defiant and all that. So get on it, people. But to come back to your question, what was the name of the username again?
WrestleNalia.
WrestleNalia. I like it. Good name. So basically, I think the reason we work well together is we have totally different styles of humor. Like, my style of humor, everything I did in wrestling was really, other than the videos, obviously that's very over the top. But when I was doing promos and vignettes and stuff like that, it was, my style is really like, The Office. It's David Brent. Like, I take so many influences from Ricky Gervais and his David Brent character. Dalton has a completely different approach. He's kind of a more sort of eccentric humor. And the thing is, it's like, on paper, I don't understand sometimes those ideas, but then in execution, I'm like, I would never have thought of that. I'll give you an example. We were doing a promo where I don't know if you've ever seen the old Tenacious D series, not the movie, but the series that Tenacious D was based on. It's one of my favorite things ever. It's so funny. But there's a scene where Jack Black and Kyle Gass have just played a gig, and they're in their house afterwards, and they're just like, and they're so pleased with the job that they've done. They just start laughing. They don't say anything to each other. And I was thinking that'd be great to do in wrestling. No one's really done that. So, but Don's like, hang on, I need to do something to make you laugh. And I'm like, all right, okay. Yeah, I guess. You know, I'm thinking the laughing's just enough. But then we're in this promo, and I'm thinking, what's he going to do? Is he going to say a joke? Is he going to do something crazy? And he does this. I swear to God, right? We're in the promo, and he goes, hey, Joe, watch this. That was it. That was it. I can't do it justice. That was his thing. And I just burst out laughing. Now, we were supposed to have all these other things to say, but I just kept laughing, and we had to cut the promo because I was just legit laughing. But we ended up using it, and of me and Dalton and the crew, it turned out to be like the favorite thing that we'd done. So I think it's just like, I kind of personally, like, I don't want to say resistant, but I was almost just like, I almost saw myself as a singles wrestler, and I think I saw teaming with Dalton as a bit of a, helping me get to the destination of being a top singles star in the company. Whereas you often find in wrestling, like if you look at things that really organically work, it's when people start to have a laugh and have fun, especially with factions. You know, when people really start to just have a laugh and be themselves and have fun, that's when things start to work. And I feel that's where me and Dalton were getting to. And we both were kind of like, you know what? This is where we're at, and let's enjoy it and let's steer into it. And I think that's why momentum wise it was tough. It was tough timing, but you know, there's more important things, i.e. safety and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I think that we work well together. Different styles of humor.
You look at that roster there in Ring of Honor, like you say, you've got yourself, you've got Dalton, you've got Mark and Vicky Haskins, you've got the Briscoes, you've got Marty. Is there any like specific people you'd like to work with going forward, or is it just seeing when the opportunities sort of present themselves?
I think I do a lot of my best work when I'm wrestling either someone massive, so it's like impressive by me slamming them, but I think my best matches tend to be with people who are smaller and quicker than me, so I can kind of I think it's just like a good kind of balance, like because I do a lot of kind of power moves, whereas if I've got somebody faster and more aerial, I can kind of catch them, and there's lots of like interesting things that we can do. So I think I'd really like to have a match with Flip Gordon, but you know, also kind of like Bandido and Dragon Lee and stuff like that. I haven't had the chance to wrestle them yet. I think that would be really, really cool. I'd really like to do that. I like to push myself out my comfort zone, and I think that they would help me do that. So I really like to work with them. Yeah.
You talk about your sort of power style there. We can see some of your workout gear behind you, and we've seen different professions trying to stay in shape in a variety of different ways. How do you how do you avoid sort of ring rust, I should say, whilst all this is going on?
I mean, I think what people don't understand is like, see, when I did the Commonwealth Games, for example, I was fit as a fiddle. Like, I was in amazing shape, like cardio wise. Like, I was so healthy when I was doing all that because I was just eating so much good food, getting loads of sleep, training 3 times a day at the highest level, and I was in amazing shape. First pro wrestling match back, I was absolutely burst, and the reason is because in pro wrestling, it's hard to explain, but there's no like comparison to it in terms of cardio. It's a completely different style. So like amateur wrestling or running or whatever, it's very difficult to simulate, because if you think about it, the moment you walk through the curtain, your heart's like racing because you've got the adrenaline going. You're even walking to the ring, speaking like. And here's the thing: I always find it was Robbie Brookside that taught me this, but it's even putting an effort into just like looking a certain way or whatever, it drains your cardio. And it's like the more cardio that you have, the more effort you can kind of put into your performance. But see, if you can't run the ropes and take bumps and all that stuff, there's nothing that will prepare you for that. Luckily for me, I have a training facility. I own a wrestling ring, so I have access to those things. Right now, I've been doing a lot of strength stuff here. I put on probably about 10, 15 pounds during lockdown, which was intentional because I don't know why, I just kind of was thinking to myself, I wanted to leave the door open for amateur wrestling at heavyweight. I'd done at 97 kilograms. I'd be allowed to do that or whatever, but like I think I was just like, just in case, I wanted to be ready, because I thought to myself, a lot of people are going to be out of shape right now. When amateur wrestling comes back, that could be a path to victory for me to win a title at a different weight class. So I don't know if I will, but I was doing a lot of strength and power stuff to just bulk up a bit for that. Issue with that though is it's what is that doesn't necessarily translate to what makes you powerful. So I'm going to have to balance that up. I'm going to have to start doing more sort of bodybuilding type workouts again. So that's what I've been doing with the equipment behind me.
Ironic that I've put on 10 to 15 pounds and not been doing any working out. So there we go. If you liked WrestleMania's name, you'll love this. Money Out to Anus in the comments asks, if someone hasn't seen any ROH or any of your matches, what matches do you suggest they go back and watch?
I think I would watch the one where we were getting, really good like watch Final Battle, where we wrestled Silas Young and Josh Woods, and watch the match me and Dalton had recently. Well, not recently, you know what I mean, with it was Vinny and Bateman. Those were good, but I think the best match I've had in Ring of Honor is probably me versus Shane Taylor for the television title in London.
I obviously bias here, but we worked together when we were in WCPW and Defiant, and you got to work with people like Kurt Angle and stuff like that. There's some great matches out there.
I never talk about it. You know what I mean? I never talk about
it. My issue is it's all slightly tinged with the whole prestige stuff, where you were, I think it's fair to say, a bit of an annoying git by the end of it all.
A git? I can't believe you'd use profanities on this show.
Let's have a look at some of the questions we've got here. Jamie Holmes. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about your parody songs, because, as you say, you've been doing quite a few recently.
I recognize that name. I think Jamie's one of my regulars, one of my fans. Go for it.
Jamie Holmes wants to know your most difficult ICW song parody. You did. You sort of rose to prominence doing them. Obviously, you've done a variety since then, but they were always a joy to watch, whether you're in attendance or watching. I mean, they've got this, hundreds of thousands of views watching them back when you had these intricate parodies for every opponent you seem to face.
The most difficult, I can't really, like, to be honest with you, the ones that are the best are always really easy. The ones that are the best, you just, the idea flows really easily. It's not overcomplicated. It's not long to edit. It's just like boom, boom, boom. You've got the ideas. I did one for Venga Boys. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't even mean that. But I think I'd say the most difficult one is the one I did it was the Justin Bieber one. And I did that for the Wee Man. And I think the reason is because I kind of woke up that day and I was like, I should probably do a parody for this show tonight. Because I knew Davey Boy and Wee Man had done one for me. And I was like, nah. Like, because I knew, like, I just had that thing where I knew management wanted, I think they were kind of like, go on, get one over on them. And I thought, nah, it's not happening. It's not happening. So I thought, whatever they come up with, I'm going to have to do something much more savage. So I lived in Glasgow at the time. I drove through to Edinburgh. There was a guy I was recording with at the time, went to, actually, it's funny, his name was Jim Johnson. Same as the WWE guy, not the one, just the same name. What were the odds? But anyway, I recorded the vocals with him, went over to my dad's house, and I filmed the video there in like an hour, edited it in like an hour, and that's like the fastest one I've ever done. And then I just got in the car and went to the show, and then it was boom. So that was probably the hardest one, just because of the time constraints. It was it was tough.
Speaking of your song parodies, I do want to talk to you about this. You've done loads recently. I've been particularly enjoying the Blue parody for all the ongoing global situation, Tiger King, and an Oasis song all about McDonald's. Am I right? I think you got stolen by, like, I don't know, German McDonald's or something.
Belgian McDonald's. Goddamn Belgian McDonald's. I was like, can I not at least get some vouchers? That's all I wanted. Vouchers. But they just took it, Apologies, Adam. I'm going to have to say, if people do enjoy it, please do subscribe on my YouTube. My YouTube is growing at snail's pace, and it's bringing me real tears. So youtube.com/Joe Hendry. Go subscribe. Help the prestigious one out. Sorry, carry on.
Indeed. Well, no, I mean, but you mentioned the McDonald's one, the Oasis one. I saw some stats about that. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was getting shared by like, it's got like, I think it's got over like 2 million hits on like even fan pages and stuff like that. They've got nothing to do with me. And I hate when pages do that and they don't credit you. Like I remember Sport Bible did it once, and it was like, I don't know if you remember the Pokemon parody that I did, and it got 3 million views. And then it was like, this guy really likes Pokemon. And it was just like, I don't get anything from that. So I pulled them up on it, and they did change it, to be fair. And then, so it was happening with these Oasis fan pages, but I eventually got them to add it. And it was like, honestly, see, going back and forth with one of these Oasis pages. And I'm like, dude, credit me. And they're like, hey, there was actually a tag with your account in it. And it's like, aye, if they go searching through the photos and then click on it and then find me, it's like, didn't he give me pish about how you've done all the right things? Like, you're a content stealing thief.
I hate you when I see that a lot with content where they post the video and then just put a little comment underneath like, oh, thanks to Joe Hendry for this. It's like, well, hang on.
Yeah, exactly. That is very frustrating, because it's like, what happens is, if you create something like, if I create something like that, now I'm grateful for all the views that it got, but at the end of the day, most of those views weren't mine. So again, I'm sitting there, my Facebook page has only got, 9,000 likes or something like that, which, I would like it to be more than that, but it's hard when you get pages just scooping up your content when it could be going viral on yours. But it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, I just kind of go with it and go, you know what, you've got a problem when no one wants to share your stuff. It's like Bully Ray said it. He was like, you've got he can't stand when people complain about, attention and doing media and stuff like that, because it's like, no, you only got to worry about it when people don't want to speak to you, when they don't want to share your stuff. You got to worry about it when people don't want to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to Phil, who's our editor. He's put the link to your YouTube channel in the comments, so you're all good there.
I'm going to watch the subscription counter just now.
Just click over.
Yeah.
Not to spoil a potential future parody, but I saw you asking about how can I describe this without giving it away? A classic 90s song by I don't know how I describe this, a canine-based 90s song. As any developments with that? I'll just say
see, I don't know. This is my issue. I don't know. Like, it's tough, because I did. I don't know if you remember that song by Fats and Small, "Turn Around." I did that the other day, and it got.
Was that the Boris Johnson one?
Yeah, and it got like 4 reviews, and I was just like, like, and I can't put myself through that again. If people would watch Who Let the Dogs Out, I would do it. I just don't know. I'm losing faith in the British public.
No, I'm into that. I think we're seeing a 90s revival. Space Jam's on Netflix. I think it needs to be done, Joe.
Oh, have you seen that Michael Jordan documentary?
I'm like about halfway through it, and it's so good.
It's the best. It immediately went online looking for Chicago Bulls merch, and then immediately didn't get it because it was super expensive.
Yeah, I think I did the same. I looked for me and the missus, and I was like, oh, that ship is pretty pricey. And I didn't realize effectively a t-shirt with no sleeves could actually cost that much.
Exactly. I'm just going to give a quick update. My dad's fine. It's a non-essential, non-emergency text. I got the thumbs up, so it's all good. There were some concerned people in the comments who were trying to get a hold of me, but it's all good. It's all good.
That is good. Another thing you've been doing in the interim, which I've really enjoyed, is obviously you teach students as well of wrestling, and then you've putting some of your students' promos out as well. That must be a real proud thing to see and do.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm so proud of the students, because the thing is, it's like, I'm watching these vignettes come out, and if you haven't seen them, just go on my Twitter page. I've posted 3 in the last few days. And we've been working hard on these for a long time now, because in lockdown, it was like, let's turn a negative into a positive, and let's really fully flesh out these characters. And they've listened to everything that I've been telling them, from, choosing a name to, getting the right lighting to, how to film this, how to say this, how to post this. And, they're producing stuff that's great quality work. And I think people are, I think even workers are going, oh, damn, that's, I think that's given, I think it's given people a kick up the ass and showing what students can be capable of. And this is the thing with Maskull, like, I don't need to have the most students. I just want the best. You know, I mean, we're a small school, and we're going to stay that way. Because I need to give special care and attention to every student. So, but I'm so proud of the way that they've put their characters across, and also what people don't know as well is they are savages. Like what we do is we do amateur wrestling as well as pro wrestling in our classes, so they're ready to fight because you know in pro wrestling it's like you know when you start there's a lot of BS to go through. Well, there was for me, and being able to handle myself really helped me have the confidence to get through all that. And I want my students to be ready for whatever comes. So that's why they do amateur wrestling as well. Obviously, we haven't been able to do it during lockdown, but we've got these amazing characters, but badasses as well. So if anyone does want to get involved and join our online classes, you can do. I should probably have some sort of link to do this, but it's very ad hoc at the moment. We got a Discord where we're doing all this. It's joehendry@hotmail.com. Just email me and say I want to join the online classes if you want to do it. joehendry@hotmail.com. How professional is that? I tell you what, Nas, that's not a professional email. Go bookings@joehendry.net. Use my professional one.
Okay.
Either of those, email me and you get in on the classes.
Lewis Hughes says, is being a manager obtainable for someone with disabilities? I was going to couple that with any advice you have for aspiring wrestlers or people who want to get involved in professional wrestling.
This is the thing with professional wrestling. It's like there's a role for everyone in professional wrestling. That's what people need to understand. There is a role for everyone. And just because someone hasn't done something before doesn't mean that you can't be the first person to do that. So my advice would be, if it's what you want to do and that's your dream, then go for it and make it happen. And I think as long as you move forward with a good work ethic and passion and put everything into it, there's no reason why you won't be successful. It's all about the work ethic.
It's surreal because it's been a bit of, I don't want to say backlash, but we've seen recently on social media a sort of response to professional wrestling, and you've been one of the most staunch defenders of that, whether it be, you know, Tom Segura's comments, or we saw recently people mocking someone just for enjoying pro wrestling and their favorite wrestlers.
Interesting you say that, because I'm probably going to surprise you by what I'm going to say. So what I was talking about the other day is I actually took issue with someone, and it was an Australian DJ who literally just retweeted a fan who was happy about someone winning a title. And I thought, nah. I was like, I had to stop myself from swearing there, because this is the most angry I think I can ever remember being on social media. And I thought, in a time where mental health is absolutely an absolute critical concern, you know, we've got literally someone has just lost their life because of this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're going to come on here and attack not a wrestler, even then, you know, I'm fine. I'll go toe to toe with this idiot DJ, no problem to me. But to target a fan who's just trying to have a good time and to go in on them and try to embarrass them, and I thought, no, I'm not taking that. And I just thought to myself, look, there's these situations where it's like it's best to stay back from social media, don't get involved, don't do that. And I thought, no, this is one of the times where I'll go all in. And I was absolutely serious about it. I would have gone on his radio show and I would have embarrassed him, because that is absolutely indefensible. And he's coming online and he's going, oh, well, how are your comments not bullying? Now your followers are attacking me. And it's like, don't start me. It's like, what people don't like is bullies. And when you've got 70,000 followers and you try and target them to embarrass a fan who's not equipped who does not have the same following to defend themselves, who might not have the confidence to defend themselves against your attack out of nowhere, and you now want me to feel sorry for you because people disapprove of that. No, this is in ethics, there's principle and practicality, right? So in principle, yeah, I don't want all my followers to attack this guy or to say negative things about him. All right, I don't want other people in wrestling to say negative things about him. But in terms of practicality, it's like there is a difference between you as a popular figure with 70,000 followers going after a fan and then people saying that they don't like it to you. I'm sorry, sir, but you need to be called out on your BS. And that's what happened. And that's why I never heard a peep from him after it, because I was willing to go on his show. I was so furious about that. But on the other hand, Tom Segura, did you see his Mystic Rick promo?
No, I didn't see this.
That was very funny. That was very, very funny. It was very funny. I was initially disappointed by what Tom Segura said about professional wrestling. I thought it was a very ignorant stance to take, and it was disappointing because I like Tom Segura. However, his Mystic Rick promo, he did a press conference as a professional wrestler, and at that point, I went, fair enough, because we're pro wrestlers. The business is serious at times and it's silly at times, and we've got to be able to laugh at ourselves and what we do as well. I'll let my friends take the mick at me for what I do for a living, so I don't mind when a comedian does it, as long as they're doing it with good humor. And I feel like when Tom Segura did the Mystic Rick promo, that was funny to me. There was entertainment value there. There's no entertainment value in a public figure going after a fan for no reason, you know?
Yeah, I think I saw someone say something along the lines of, "Don't let anyone make you feel bad for enjoying what you enjoy." It's
That was her,
ridiculous.
yeah. She said that back to him, yeah.
Couple of questions here. Nope, second Nope says, "What is the easiest finisher to perform?"
Probably the finger poke of doom. Probably the easiest. That's got to be there. That's got to be up there. I would say, the people's elbow. That was always a favorite in the playground. That was you'd end up with a sore back, but in terms of easiest to perform, I think most people can do a stunner, I would say. But of the finishers I've done, I suppose, the ankle lock, you just got to grab somebody's ankle, but you got lots of cool ways to get into it. It's certainly not the fallaway slam or the fallaway driver, I'm now calling it, because what I do is I throw the guy and then I twist myself in midair. So it's like a slam when I land. So I kind of do like a 180 rotation as I do it. That's not that easy, gotta be honest.
No, exactly. I was very inside wrestling terminology here, but like I say, one person who can't do a stunner is Dave Bradshaw. We've all seen that.
It's physically impossible and mentally impossible. He just won't ever be able to do a stunner.
Thank you to Elisa Burdick for your donation and asking, how can I watch WCPW Defiant Wrestling in the States? We've put a link in the description. Well worth checking that out. And I'm going to link to that by reading a question here from Just a Tribute CC. Other than your match with Kurt Angle, what was your favorite match in WCPW/Defiant?
The match where I won the title against Kirby is the best pro wrestling match I've ever had.
It was a classic, I have to admit. The Joseph Connors thing, is that something that still people remind you of? The tag team where he hogged all the limelight?
They don't remind me of it, but they damn sure remind him of it. Honestly, if he ever, let's say a couple of years down, 10 years down the line, Joseph Connors finally does it, reaches the top of the mountain, he holds up the title, and I swear to God, the entire audience in unison will go, "And Joseph Connors."
Final few questions here for you, Joe. Jamie has been in the comments again. Thank you, Jamie, saying, "Whatever happened to Bantz in ICW?"
That's Dave Conrad. So me and him actually do a weekly podcast called Pish Talk, because there is if you're coming for wrestling, don't come. We just talk nonsense for an hour. So you can get all of his stories there. It's Pish Talk. Just search it on Spotify, or no, I just search Joe Hendry on Spotify or the Joe Hendry Show. It'll come up. It's one of the podcasts of the. I need to change the podcast name. Just search the Joe Hendry Show, and then you'll find our podcast. That's what we do. But also, we did a YouTube show called Free Agent. So if you type in Joe Hendry Free Agent into YouTube, you can see the show that me and him did as well. It's kind of like a peep show, British comedy show, so you can see that. But he's really focusing on his amateur wrestling right now. But when this is all over, I'd like to see him return to pro wrestling. But he's just joined he's just qualified for the British national team for amateur wrestling, so I think he's gonna do that for a while.
One of the final things I wanted to speak to you about, Joe, is we've seen a rapid rise, of course, of cinematic matches in the likes of WWE and AEW recently. For someone as creative as yourself, is that something you've considered doing?
Oh, well, I've certainly considered it. It's it's tough. It's hard to know what the right thing to do, because on one hand, it's like, well, this is what's been done elsewhere? Is this, do I try and do this, or do we do something different, or what are the options? It's, in a way, it's both kind of a conundrum but also an opportunity, the situation that we're in. And I think that this whole situation is giving talent a chance to be creative and giving companies a chance to be creative. But I think, I've got real faith in ROH's creative team, and I think whatever path we choose to go down, I feel will be the right one for Ring of Honor, and I'm excited. If it's that, if it's something else, whatever it is, I'm ready, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of this house.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're all ready for
Yeah,
wrestling to return, Ring of Honor to return, and well, as the news supposedly claims today, for McDonald's to reopen in just a few weeks' time as well.
That means I've got to make another video now. I just my girlfriend told me today it's open. I was like, I wanted a week off from videos. So I'm going to have to do something for McDonald's opening on June 4th.
Yeah, can't wait for that. But yeah. Belgium McDonald's needs their video making.
I'll be getting the legal team, getting the Belgian McDonald's told before they go stealing my content again. But actually, I think they're in fear because the manager actually contacted me with their email address and asked me to get in touch. And so we'll see what they've got to say for themselves.
There you go.
Yeah.
It will be Belgian vouchers, no doubt. You'll have to be honest to get yourself.
I need to be. Well, do you know? I swear to God, this if it hadn't been for the coronavirus, what I would have done is I would have said, "All right, look, we'll let bygones be bygones. I won't get the legal team. I won't get the legal beagles on you. All you got to do is fly the prestigious one over to Belgium. Let's do some PR stuff." I would have told the journalists, it's a good little story. Get me a little bit of PR. Free trip to Belgium. That's what I would have done. What am I going to do? Go to the Belgian McDonald's via Zoom? They're going to put me on a screen there.
We still need to see you as the Gallagher brothers performing live in a Belgian McDonald's. We will see it before the year is out, I have no doubt.
Do you know, to do that video, I actually had to listen to Liam Gallagher interviews for about 3 hours. I was like walking the dog, and it was just the same interview. It was like 76 questions with Liam Gallagher. Same interview. And it was just like, so it was ingrained in my brain. And then I went out there and, don't want to say I'm a genius. I'll let other people say that, but the video speaks for itself.
Exactly. You did get the impression bang on. If people want to follow you, if they want to subscribe to your channel, follow you on social media, where do they need to head to, Joe?
Thank you. So please, folks, if you're here, I'd really appreciate it. My YouTube channel needs some growth. YouTube.com/Joe Hendry. That's the main one. But I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Joe Hendry. On TikTok, I'm at Joe Hendry 1 because some idiot got Joe Hendry. But I'm sure I'll be able to steamroll them when I get some more traction. I've just cracked 1 million hits, so I'm going to take their username because that's my name. Before I started wrestling, there's actually an artist called Joe Hendry, and sometimes I feel bad for him because he was like a reasonably well-known artist, and now his legacy is just erased from from history. Sorry, I might just start saying I'm an artist now and just take credit for all of his work as well.
He's got people tweeting local hero and there's prestigious one, and he's like, no, not that one. I'm the painting one.
Yeah. So also go and check out Ring of Honor as well. Go join the Honor Club. This t-shirt here I'm wearing. Here's the thing, Ring of Honor are being awesome. Like, one thing I didn't get a chance to mention earlier is not only are they like listening to all our suggestions, but they're also paying us as normal. We're getting paid as normal when, there's a lot of, when these things happen, you're like, what's going to happen? Where, am I going to still be employed or whatever? And Ring of Honor, we're like, we got you. We're supporting you. We've got you covered. So that means that I've been freed up to be creative and just like have fun with these videos. And all they want us to do is just stay healthy, be creative, and just, take care. And it's been awesome. So if you want to support the company that's supporting the wrestlers in that way, then go get the ROH Strong t-shirt. It's at rohproshop.com, because guess what? All the money goes to the Salvation Army as well. So you get a badass t-shirt, you get to give some money to charity and support Ring of Honor. There you go.
Yeah, support Ring of Honor as much as you can, and check out loads of stuff they're doing on the YouTube channel. Old matches going on there. Joe's doing loads of content as well. Well worth checking all of that out. And Joe, hopefully we'll see you in a Ring of Honor ring very soon, and maybe a WCPW/Defiant ring again. I'm with you on this.
Yeah, I'm going to keep pestering until it happens. I tell you what. I've got the internet title over there. You
I've seen it in the background. Yeah.
You can just see it in frame there. It's my pride and joy. I'm still the champ. I need to defend the title, you know. And I think, like, we're doing Ring of Honor. Who knows what will happen when we come out of the COVID situation? But you know, I'm pretty much exclusive to Ring of Honor. But I would go to bat. I would campaign to wrestle for WCPW, Defiant, whatever we're calling it. It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Especially with Simon Miller now rising through the ranks.
There you go. There you go.
Just a thought. Just a thought. Right. It's been a pleasure to chat to you as always, Joe. Hopefully we'll speak again very soon. As we said, go and support Joe on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and on his YouTube channel, and support Ring of Honor as well. Joe, thank you so much for chatting to us today, mate.
Thank you. I have to say, I've just noticed in the comments there, someone suggested Hendry versus Miller for the WCPW Internet Championship. Sounds like a fun exhibition match that we could potentially do. Who knows?
One night only.
Sounds like a plan to me. Let's do it.
Joe, thanks very much, mate.
Cheers. See ya.